Hi, everyone. Welcome to the next installment of Snackable Content brought to you by Personio. Joining me today is Hayfa Mohdzaini, who is a Senior Research Advisor for Data, Technology, and AI at CIPD. Her most recent work is focused on how HR can play a lead role in digital transformation, and she's going to share some of her key insights with us today. Welcome, Hayfa, and thank you for joining us.
Thanks, Laura.
So first question, based on your research, how do you see the role of HR changing in the post-pandemic world of work?
I see the shift towards supporting employees and their organizations to become more resilient and thrive in a post-pandemic world. What that actually means in practice would depend on how the pandemic disrupted their organizations and how they responded during that pandemic. In general, I would expect a stronger focus on health, safety, mental health, and well-being. For obvious reasons, if another disruption happens, how do we ensure business continuity and employees are supported throughout that? Organizations that are embracing hybrid working, I would see HR playing a key role facilitating this, balancing the business needs for cost savings and business continuity and employee needs for well-being and face-to-face contact. So HR's role in this particular context would be in terms of consulting employees and managers, refining HR processes to support hybrid working practices, coaching line managers to support distributed teams who are virtual and also face-to-face. How do you make sure that, for example, promotion processes are fair, that people who are mainly office-based don't get the added advantage for those who are not always there in the office? So things like that. Another trend that's happened during the pandemic is the acceleration of digitization, AI, and automation projects in the business. And where there's been demonstrated value, I would see the business looking for opportunities to apply that elsewhere. I've seen an example of HR doing it within the business. For example, a retailer where they had to increase the number of new hires by 20% in a short period of time. They turned to AI text-based mobile chat to conduct the first stage interviews and give feedback, automated feedback, personalized automated feedback to new recruits. And it's had a positive impact on the candidate experience, as well as it saved about 8,000 hours of time in line managers having to filter through CVs. So it's a big saving. And it's such a big saving that they're actually looking to apply that elsewhere in the business where there's high volume of recruitment, for example, in call centers. So these are some examples where I see the HR's role changing in the post-pandemic world of work.
Wow, 8,000 hours. That's just from one piece of technology. That's pretty significant. Do you see a role for HR in technology purchase decisions outside of HR? And if so, why and where?
Yes, I see HR having a role in technology purchase decisions where it is expected that the number of people who are needed to do the work will change. And being involved early on in the process means that we're not firefighting, we're looking ahead, we're planning ahead and seeing, okay, can we source the new talent? If it's good, if the organization will be growing, can we source the talent from internally, or do we need to recruit externally? If it's internally, what is the gap in the skills? Do we need to train the staff, or are they ready to go? If the technology will result in fewer people doing the work, then we need to think about outplacement. How do we support employees move out of the organization and be useful elsewhere in the labor market, especially in cases where there's going to be mass redundancies and a big impact on the local economy? Can we retrain them to do something else that's useful elsewhere? Thirdly, I think where it's important, the other part as well is being involved early. It means that HR has a chance to speak with employees, to consult with them, because our CIPD people and machines research finds that where employees are consulted early on in the process, they are more likely to buy into the technology decisions. We found that quality of customer service is doubled. Those who were consulted, the perception of the business benefits was doubled compared to those who were not consulted. So there are several benefits to involving HR early in the purchase decisions.
What advice would you give HR professionals who want to evolve their function as business partner?
I would say free yourself from routine tasks as much as possible so that you can dedicate the time to be an effective business partner. That means leaning on technology to augment your role. What processes can be automated? What can be simplified? What can you stop doing actually? So what does it mean to be an effective business partner? The CIPD defines them in 4 characteristics. Firstly, you need to understand the business model. How does this business operate? How does it create its products or services? What are the strategic drivers? What is the purpose of the business? Secondly, to be able to generate insight from data, to use data to support business cases, to give insight and to validate the impacts of your work in the business. And in order to do that, you need to have a system where you can easily access accurate data. And then thirdly, to connect with curiosity and purpose and impact. And that means to ask the right questions, to build relationships across the organizations and identify opportunities where HR can add value to the business. And fourthly here, it's leading with integrity. And that means having the courage to challenge leaders. So that's where HR can balance the business imperative with the employees' views.
That is possibly the best definition of business partner I have ever heard. Thank you, Hayfa, for joining me today. And check out personio.com for more information and interviews. And of course, check out CIPD for more great information about HR and other topics.